Right, and welcome back to the channel. Here's 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United. I don't even know if capitulate is the word, I really don't know if capitulate is the word that I'm trying to think of here. But anyway, let's get into it. Number 1, De Gea, ironically. So David De Gea has made as many mistakes. No other keeper's made more. He's made as many mistakes as Lloris this season, which have led to a goal. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure why it's classed as an error. I'm just talking about the technical sort of definition of what an error is. Could he have saved it? Yes, but it was a shot. Wasn't the greatest of shots. I think he should have saved it, right? But I don't understand why it's classed as an error to not save a shot. It's more the definition, not the fact that I don't think he should have saved it. I definitely think he should have saved it. I just don't get why it's classed as an error. It's actually really bugging me why that's classed as an error. I've had this thing for a minute with De Gea's contract. It's hilarious, actually. I used to get accused of hating him. Now I'm getting accused of protecting him. Here's the thing. I'm probably just way more balanced than the absolute crazies that are going left and right of me. I imagine. That I think that's the game. It's never as black and white as some people want to make it. Although I think quite black and white, he should have saved that last night against West Ham. I've had an issue with De Gea on a couple of the aspects of his play, but also on account of his contract. And I think contracts are extremely important in football. What they represent in terms of where you're valued within the squad. And if you're the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, at some point that becomes political. Now let's imagine Tom Heaton was probably a little bit closer to him. I think some people probably argue that Tom Heaton is a lot more closer to him than the amount of appearances Tom Heaton represents. And Jack Butland was able to put pressure on him as well. The fact that De Gea is on 350k a week will always sort of elevate him above what those guys are, in a similar way to the fact that Harry Maguire seemingly, as Rojo sort of put out, the price tag that was paid for him sort of meant that he played even if he was playing poorly. That's a political pressure, and some people don't want to admit that that's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. It's evident half the time when watching the team selections, you go, what's going on here? And I think that we may have seen some of that this season. Anthony was kind of played through form where he probably didn't deserve to start. And that not might be external pressure. That might be pressure just from the manager. The manager might be feeling pressure like, I can't drop this guy. Think about this, right? Eric Ten Hag goes to Richard Arnold, gives 100 million, goes and buys Anthony. The next time he goes and asks for 100 million, and let's say he's benched Anthony, doesn't play him. The next time he goes and asks for 100 million, the first question Richard Arnold is going to say is, what was the last 100 million to give you? You go, spend it on Anthony. Anthony, the guy that doesn't play. Yeah, that's the one. So right or wrong, there are always going to be power plays and questions and political reasons, more than just the pure, honest pursuit of, is this player better than that player, therefore he plays. Now that should be almost the sole reason someone gets selected, right? But it isn't. And that is just the truth of the matter. If you extend De Gea's contract on the same terms, I think it's a mistake. I think there is an opportunity at Manchester United right now to find a better goalkeeper. The conundrum Manchester United find ourselves in right now is that if you do not correctly identify that goalkeeper, you're going to be in an absolute mess. Because even though De Gea can be error-prone and has his weaknesses, he's also generally fairly reliable. I mean, this is the conundrum of David De Gea. He's probably going to win Golden Gloves in the Premier League this season. And he's also got no other goalkeepers made more mistakes than him. That is the conundrum that David De Gea is. That's nuts. But either way, that's the situation we find ourselves in. I think it's a mistake to extend him, but also I think it's going to be very, very difficult without knowing who our owners are going to be, who we're going to sign. Number 2, we can't score a goal. In 4 of the last 6 games, Manchester United have drawn a blank. And you can't win football games if you don't score goals. Sorry I went full Michael Owen on there, but you understand what I'm saying here. You can't win games if you don't score goals. You can only draw or lose them. And that's where the defence isn't being helped by the forwards. Because we've scored so few goals, because we're so over-reliant on Marcus Rashford to get us those goals, Manchester United really need other people scoring goals. Arsenal have got a handful of players that have got a smattering of goals. It's Marcus Rashford, a massive drop-off, Bruno Fernandes, Sancho. That's our top scorers this season. It's ridiculous. Even if we'd have had Alvarez, City's backup striker, he'd be our second leading scorer this season. He's played about 10 games. The inability for Manchester United to finish chances, because we're starting games really brightly, really well. We're getting opportunities, we're getting shots, we're just not scoring. And Anthony needs to figure this out as well, because he's having just stupid shots. He's averaging nearly 3 shots per game, which is a good number of shots. But the goal tally that he's got in return for that just isn't anywhere near good enough. Number 3, top 4 is not certain. Liverpool and Manchester City are the informed teams in the league at the moment. They are just stacking up the wins. Liverpool do not have the most straightforward running, but it's not the most difficult either. It wouldn't be a shock to see them drop points on this running, but it also wouldn't be a shock for them to go 100% and win every single game, which means Manchester United have got to do something in terms of turning around our form. United cannot continue with the form that we've seen over this last half a dozen games and expect that we're going to just cruise into top 4. We're going to have to work for it. The situation being what it is at the moment, Manchester United, I think, are still in the driving seat, but the fuel tank is running empty in more ways than one. So we're going to have to book our ideas up to make sure that we get over the line, I think. Number 4. I spoke about this on Vibe with 5, which will be out at 5 o'clock a little bit. I thought it was maybe worth explaining just a little bit more. And that is Ten Hag's planning. So Ten Hag, one of the things that we do know about him is he is a meticulous planner. I very much am of the opinion that he will be planning training sessions for July and August right now. I mean, I'm doing it. I am certain Ten Hag is doing it, if not already done it, actually. I'm already starting planning for the type of training session that I want to have, the content of what that training session is going to be. What I don't necessarily know is who the focus is going to be, what my first choice 11 is going to be, and that's the thing that I find Ten Hag's going to find. And it's obviously more important when he's doing it than it is with me. He's going to go into this closed window with an idea of what he wants to sign, but no idea if he's going to sign it. He's going to be walking into Richard Arnold at the moment going, how much have I got to spend in the summer? And I think Richard Arnold's answer is going to be, I don't know, mate. And for a meticulous planner, well, I want to play a certain style of football. Can I implement that certain style of football with this starting 11? No. I need someone who's going to score me some goals up front. How much money have I got? No idea. Can I even sign someone? No idea. The mental toll that must be taken on the manager, as we said, a meticulous planner, not having a clue what he's going to have in terms of personnel next season. Does he start working on a plan that maybe isn't completely what he wants to see us play? Maybe he has to protect certain aspects of the team. Going back to the goalkeeper situation, can he actually change De Gea? Is the easiest thing for him to have some sort of continuity and some sort of certainty over who's going to be in his team to just give David De Gea the contract? Even if he doesn't want to do that. Even if he thinks there's better goalkeepers out there and I can probably go get one, would it be better if he goes, fuck it, let's keep hold of De Gea, then at least it's one problem that I can just park for another season? It's not a video game. There are so many more aspects to this that are going to play a massive, massive part in it. In terms of planning, it's going to be a very, very tough one. And finally, 5, mood. At the start of the season, if you said we're going to win a trophy and finish inside the top 4 and we'll get to another cup final, you'd have gone, wow, it's a good season. And you're going to have to deal with the fact that you've lost 4 strikers. So Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial's basically not been here. Cristiano Ronaldo's going to fuck off and go and play in Saudi Arabia and then decide that he don't fancy playing in Saudi Arabia, despite the fact that he's getting paid £175 million a year. £175 million a year? £175 million a year. You're going to lose all these strikers and you're going to bring in Wout Weghorst, and that's what you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with your captain needing to be dropped. You're going to have to deal with some issues with Garnacho. There's going to be some personal stuff going on with Jadon Sancho. You're going to have all of these things to contend with. Plus, there's going to be a World Cup in the middle of it, so you're not really going to get a chance to fuck about that. You're going to be playing a game every single 3 days, which is going to really sort of hamper your ability to be able to put your style of play into the squad. And you're not really going to get any reinforcements. You're going to have Casemiro banned for weird reasons in the middle of the season. You're going to lose both your first choice 2 centre-halves. All of that being said, the cold, hard truth of it is the minimum expectation was this club finishes in the top 4. Not done, but it's looking good. And if you can win a trophy, that'd be nice. There you go. Done. That's it. That's all we wanted. So you say, okay, in some horrendous circumstances, we're probably going to achieve the 2 things we set out to achieve. Good season. But the way it's ending, the mood is really taking me down. And I can feel it in the fan base. It's not just me. Feel it at Old Trafford. Feel it online. Feel it in the comments of the YouTube videos. The mood is one of fucking hell. Like, we're shit. We're not shit. We're struggling. You know, we haven't had the depth of a squad that we can trust. We've had to deal with some mad stuff. Players are probably coming back from injuries far quicker than they want to. There's not enough players chipping in with goals. We saw how good this team could be. And if you don't understand that, go and look what Manchester United did to Barcelona. And go and look at what Barcelona are doing to the rest of La Liga. That's what this team is capable of. You just got to be able to do that on a more consistent basis. So even though the mood right now is bad, logically, it will have been a good season. But you've got to get top 4. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.